Hello, What the hell?
One.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to our channel. My name is Casey. This is my wife, Maria. Why are you laughing? Are you kidding me right now?
And if you haven't watched the video, you should go watch it.
Babe, seriously?
I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. Okay. All right, guys. Right. So some of you guys have seen our home birth. And so today, it is a good idea to just give you the run through, like timeline of what happened, how it felt, and how we got Hazel through all of that. Let's get into it.
Okay, guys. So on January 23rd, 2021, at 1:05 a.m. Wait, actually, guys, I'm going to backtrack a little bit just because that day we knew we were going to go into labor because we were super, super excited because I was spotting a little bit red the day before because
on the walk.
Yeah, just because we decided. So Maria's dad called me. Long story short, Maria's dad called me. He was like, let's go for a walk. This baby needs to come. I'm 40 weeks pregnant at this point. And so we just started walking. We ended up outside for like about 4 hours. And I think that put me into labor. So, so whatever, I got home. I went to the bathroom and I saw one little drop of like red blood. And then little by little, I felt like I started seeing a little bit of my mucus plug. And then I knew it was coming. Wait, was my mucus plug during that time or afterwards during the day?
I don't remember.
Mom brain. I'm not sure, guys, but I know I bled a little bit. I'm not sure my mucus plug happened before my contraction started or during that whole entire night. So basically, I spotted a little red. We were like super excited. It was like 11 p.m. We were talking at night like we usually do, getting ready for bed. And then we go to sleep till like midnight.
Yeah.
And then we went to sleep. And then my contraction woke me up at 1:05 in the morning. So I only slept 1 hour.
She didn't wake me up.
I decided not to wake Maria up. And I know it sounds crazy, but I told myself it's going to be a long day. Well, in my head was a couple of days, right? Because, you know, it was my first pregnancy. And so I thought that we were going to be later for at least 2 days. We still have Gray at home. Somebody needs to take care of our child while I'm in labor and like all this crazy stuff was about to happen. And so I decided to keep Maria sleeping. At 2:08 a.m., I decided to text my midwife, doula, and photographer just so they can be in the loop so they know that something has started. At this point, it was about an hour. It was on and off. I was getting contractions like every 15 minutes. It was definitely going in waves. I knew. Some people say they don't know when they went into labor. Like, I know the moment the first contraction started, I was like, I'm in labor. Like, I knew it.
Like the type of feeling that
I knew something was different. I knew I was in labor, guys. Around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, I decided to go like this to Maria and be like, hey, I'm in labor. I've been in labor for 5 hours now. Hello. And I remember being on my knees in bed.
Yeah. And then we got you the ball, right?
Yeah. So a couple of things that I wanted to talk about was, this is all literally a mind game. I told myself, I said, I'm going to push this as much as I can, as long as I can. And so I did that with everyone around me. I did it with Maria. I didn't tell her immediately that I was in labor. I didn't call my midwife or my doula on like early.
Yeah.
I told our plan was for my mother to come and take care of Gray.
And even that we held off for
a while just because I just felt like this is going to be so long. Everybody makes it sound like it's going to be such a long process. It's going to be so this, so that. And like, you literally never know what's going to happen until it happens.
Yeah.
Like,
so when Casey woke me up, I mentally freaking out, but keep it together, Maria. Keep it together. You know, we're planning for a home birth. Wait, when do I fill up the pool? But then the water is going to get cold. I was like, wait, no, I'm not going to do that. And then Gray woke up. So that was like, you woke me up around 5-ish. And then Gray woke up around 6:30, which is like her usual time. She's like, what's happening? We're like, well, we think the baby's coming. And so then Gray starts like, okay, what are you going to wear? Do you need to be comfortable? So the outfit that Casey was wearing that day, Gray actually picked it out. So she went into the closet. She's like, I think you should wear this because you can pull it up. It's a dress. She got her shorts. Remember, she was like doing a massage on your face with your jade roller and all of that. And she was super helpful, getting water. She said, do you need the ball? Yeah. Casey could not have like that ball. She was changing positions all the time, and you know how they say like lay on your side and all that. She could not. She could not stand to be laying down, so she was sitting on the ball like most of that time, like before everybody else got here.
So yeah, in the middle of the night until the early morning, I was either on the ball or on my knees. I was like doing positioning. I did a lot of research. I was on YouTube all the time, seeing position, how to breathe while I'm in labor to help the process. So the baby can like get in the right position to come out. So I did all of those breathing techniques during my the whole time I was in labor.
And the ball.
Yeah,
like
and I was
like doing the shapes and stuff.
I was
like
doing the 8 shapes side by side.
I think it's important to point out what Casey said in the beginning. It's like, it's a mind game. Like, you go into it knowing that you're going to feel like you've never felt before. You're going to be in a type of pain that you've just couldn't imagine. But if you're like mentally preparing yourself in terms of like giving yourself that pep talk, every time you're like about to give up, you're like, no, but I know this is what's happening, and my baby is coming, and the baby's coming, and there's a next step. And I think that's what one of the things that really helped Casey get through it, because
I told myself it was like, this is what I'm gonna do. Like I didn't like, of course you had doubts on random days that you're feeling a little bit down about things in life, you know, but
which is normal.
Majority 90% of my pregnancy I was like, I'm gonna do this. So like you come into it like that, it's most likely for you to succeed in it. I think it's anything in life. If you wanna your career, go to school, like you tell yourself you're gonna do it, you do it, and you do it. So it's kind of in that mentality. It's all a mind game. If you're like, I don't think I can do this, most likely you cannot do it.
Although, you're telling yourself that
like I'm not gonna say every woman's body, but like we're built for this, you know, like we can totally birth. Like, people didn't have medicine back in the day.
Yeah, my grandmother had 17 children.
With no medication. That's crazy. I had in my mind that I was not going to call people early. So around 4 p.m., I called my mom. I was like, I think it's time for you to come. So she came over, picked up Gray.
No, that's not what happened. She's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And Casey said, you need to relax. I'm the one in labor. Yeah. You just need to come and pick up Gray. Yeah. And take her to the park or something.
Yeah. Because around 4 p.m. I felt like things are getting not like super intense, but the pain was like, all right.
You were inching closer.
I was like, okay, something's happening here. I think I was definitely in active labor around 5. Maybe like 5 p.m. when now our doula came in. Yeah. So once our doula came in, she was absolutely amazing.
I needed her.
She was such a great support system. If you don't know what a doula is, you can have a doula for at a hospital birth, at a home birth, whatever you choose to birth your baby. A doula is like, it's so worth every single dollar. It is worth every single, like,
oh my God.
I don't know how other to explain it.
I don't know how I would have done it.
She was such a great support system, for emotionally,
me, for Casey,
even for your partners.
It was intense, guys.
I don't even know I stopped.
Good, yeah. No, seriously, it was very helpful because she was keeping track of things that obviously we didn't know what to do. Yeah. She was in communication with our midwife. Like, everybody's a team. So everybody's sort of like, you know, tagging people in, like, you're ready, or, you know, I think it's time, or this and that and the third. And I feel like I certainly didn't even have my phone on me, so I didn't know what was happening, who to call, who not to call. Casey had told me nobody. Like,
I mean, guys, we're in the middle of a pandemic. If we were to contact family and friends, because we're not at the hospital, I felt like the whole world would have been knocking on our door. while I'm in the middle of giving birth at home.
Agreed.
It would have been very stressful. I just didn't want a bunch of people here. One of the reasons why we had a home birth is like this pandemic, and like it pushed me more to have it. I feel like I always thought of it in the back of my head.
Yeah.
But like this was like, it's either now or
cherry
never.
Is the cherry on top. By the time that our doula got here, Casey was already out of the bedroom. She was in the living room. Again, still, she was in like a fetal position, laying on her, like she was on her knees, laying over the couch, and we had the heating pad on her back. So she's trying to just like ride out the contractions. We also had music playing. We had a candle on. The lights were off. We still had our Christmas tree up at the time, which I'm staring at the Christmas tree right now. We still had our Christmas tree up. So it's really set the mood, right? And earlier that day, I had already set up. The pool had already been open and inflated. I'll insert a video here of me inflating the pool. But then I also added like words of affirmation on the walls.
But she added those affirmations while I was in early labor.
Right.
In the morning.
So Casey didn't know that they were there.
Yes.
But basically, she came in and she started doing these like massages and like pressure points on Casey's back. And she was also counting, like timing the contractions.
Because at this point we stopped.
Yeah, Casey stopped using the app because it was just like... I
couldn't anymore. The pain was too intense by that time.
Yeah.
I couldn't concentrate.
Yeah, and I couldn't keep track of when she said it was on and off. Yeah. And it was just like, forget it. And then so she was doing it. She was looking at her watch and she was doing something. I don't know if she has an app or something, but I just know that she was timing.
She was, yeah.
And then so Casey sort of started to feel like impatient. But during that time, our photographer came in. So she came in and she was able to capture images and pictures and videos during that time,
like around 5 p.m.
And then she left.
And she said, call us when it's more intense, when you're closer.
Right. And
because at this point, no one thought I was that far off.
Right.
Or further along.
Exactly, because first time birth, everybody's thinking, oh.
Well, also, I'm not trying to like make myself sound all good, but she was like, the way you handled the contractions, she had no idea that I was that further.
Yeah. So I think everyone sort of underestimated how far along this was actually progressing. But once the photographer left, and Casey's mom was still at the park with Gray, then it was just Casey, myself, and our doula. So then Casey she couldn't be on her knees any longer. So she stood up and she just wanted to walk. She wanted to walk. She's like, wait, I have to pee. And then we ended up going
this was at what time?
It was right after the photographer left.
It was like around 7.
And then, like Gray still wasn't back yet. So I'm not sure what exactly that time was.
Yeah.
But I remember we were pacing because Gray arrived when we were in the nursery. So Casey's pacing. She tried to pee in this bathroom. She's like, wait, no, I gotta stand up. And then it was
walking. Because I had the urge to stand for something.
But you were like super uncomfortable when you sat.
Yeah.
Like she couldn't be in a sitting position. Like she did not want to be in a sitting position.
I don't know what it was.
And so we're pacing in the hallways. And then we're like, let's go into the nursery. So we're pacing in the nursery at this point. Then Casey goes once again back on her knees over the twin bed that we have in the nursery. Yeah. And at that point is when Vicky turns on candles. She has like little electric candles. She turns off all the lights and she does like rose water spray. Yeah. And then she was like massaging your back. So all of that happened.
Guys, listen. The massages on the back, the pressure points on the hips, the heating pad on your back.
Squeezing the hips together.
It's a workout. Listen, squeezing the hips together was the best thing at the end of like...
And seriously, I wouldn't have been able to remember that. But because we had our doula there, she kept going back to the basics. Keep going back to the basics.
Yeah.
And so we were in there, I don't know for how long.
Me either.
I'm going to say it was like 45 minutes.
Oh, really?
Because then by the time we came out, Gray was already here and Gray was already bathed. Story time, and she was already in her room. So Casey's mom was already putting Gray to bed, but Gray was like freaking out.
She was anxious. I mean, her mom is in labor, and
we're telling her to go to bed.
And she's like, it's too exciting. It was too exciting. But we didn't think we were that close to getting there.
We thought, okay, we'll let her sleep. And in the middle of the night, because that's what we thought, we're like, okay, so maybe like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., we'll wake her up.
Yeah.
And then, we would have taken it from there. All right, so fast forward a little, and now it's around 8:30. Casey's still pacing. She goes to this bathroom. She wants to pee, but then not really. So she stands up. We keep walking back and forth, back and forth. And then we're standing in the living room. And I remember our doula was in front. Casey was holding her shoulders.
I was holding.
And I was behind Casey, and I was squeezing Casey's back. And Casey was making these noises, right? So she was just like this, right?
It's called grunting, I think.
So I kept looking at the floor. I'm like, is there water anywhere?
Is there a baby?
But I'm trying to be discreet, right? Because I don't want her to freak out. So I'm like, do I feel her legs, see if they're wet? Is the baby's head right there? I wasn't sure what was happening. And then so I'm looking at this.
So I just finished editing the video and notice it is just way too long. So we're cutting it in half and showing you guys the part 1. Next week, you'll get part 2. Now, I want to make sure that I mention that this is solely based on our experience with our home birth. So you always want to do your research, make sure you get professionals to help you. You do your research, be informed, and do not do anything because you feel pressured or you feel that it's the in thing and you want to go about it in that way. Make sure that you... Super interesting to watch it because I don't feel like we have sat down to really analyze the process, the timeline, and everything that happened that day. But now every time I look back at that same video while I was editing, I was just like, whoa, we really did that. Casey did that. The whole household did that. And woo, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think about this first part of our home birth journey. And we're looking forward to showing you guys part 2 next week. And today is Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas Eve. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.